Hey, what's up? Jason here from Unity3D.College. Alexander asked in a question on one of the previous videos about loading JSON data in Unity. So I wanted to go over a quick sample of how you can do it for free, and then I'll talk about a paid method that I generally prefer for my own projects. So here I have just some basic JSON data. It's just an array of questions that have a text and an answer, and then a name for the collection. I'm going to jump over to Unity real quick and show you what this looks like. Here I've got a question loader with a path to this file and a text object right there. If I restart, you'll see the questions get loaded from this JSON file when I right click and go to load questions, and then it just populates into the text. So let me show you how this is done. I jump into the question loader, and here I have an object called a question collection. And this question collection has an array of questions on it and a name, and then this is just an override of the toString method just so we can show it in the display there on that text. So really what we have here is questions as an array and a collection name as a public string. We also have the serializable attribute. Without this, the built-in JSON serializer will not serialize your class. So make sure that you have this on any class that you want to serialize. That includes other classes that are children or subnodes of your JSON data. So here we have the question. It also has the serialize attribute with a public string for text and answer. Now if we look at the question loader script, in load questions you can see we use a stream reader to read in the file. So question path is that path to the JSON file. In fact, if you look here at the overloads, you'll see that the second one is a string path to the file. Then we call stream.readToEnd, and we put that data into a string. This is going to be our raw JSON data. From there, we use the JSONUtility.FromJson method and pass in the type, or use the generic type right here of question collection, and we pass in our JSON data. And what this is going to do is deserialize that data into our question collection object right here, which again is defined right there. And then all I do is update the text. Now to write the JSON data out, I made a quick sample method that will just generate some sample data here. And in generate sample questions, I just create an array of 2 questions, give them some default data, and then I create a question collection and pass in questions, this one right here, as the questions field, and then I give it a collection name of samples. Then to write it out, we use the stream writer instead of the stream reader, pass in the path, and then we use JSONUtility.ToJSON and pass in the object. What this will do is serialize it out to JSON data, give us a string back, and then we write it. So this works pretty well, but there are some limitations to the built-in system. The primary one is that you can't use generic collections. So if I wanted to do something like a private list of question, which is generally one of the things I would really like to do, and have this like questions list, I couldn't serialize this with the built-in serializer. It just doesn't support it right now. My preferred method for this is to use the JSON.net asset pack, but I think it's around $20–25 right now, so it's not a free option. But if you can afford it and you really want to use generics, that's kind of what I would go with. If I recall right, you also don't need to add the serializable attribute, and you can serialize out your properties, not just your fields. So it's I'd say a much better solution. I believe it's also a bit faster, but it's not free. So if you want to go with a free method, go with the serializable attribute, use arrays instead of generic collections, and make everything nice and public. That'll work. So if you have questions about this, feel free to drop one down below, or if you have questions about other subjects you want to hear about, just let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to like and hit subscribe, and thanks again for watching.